A slow, deliberate knocking occurs. 3 knocks, a pause, then 2. The camera audio records a low scraping between knocks, like nails on pine. Reaction: Desmond says he froze, clutching the blanket, and filmed the doorway with his phone. When he cracked the door after a long silence, there was only a smudge on the lower threshold, dark as if someone had brushed mud. He posted the clip with the note that his dog, usually restless, did not bark that night. Follow-up: a neighbor checked the lane and found no footprints in the thin frost. Desmond later fitted the door with a second deadbolt and placed a motion sensor light. The sensor later logged movement at 3:41 a.m., but the camera captured nothing but a column of mist. Hypotheses: natural. Animals like raccoons can manipulate doors, producing knocking sounds. Technical. Vibration from a truck could rattle a loose latch. Hoax. A neighbor playing a prank. Paranormal. An entity testing the threshold, drawn to solitary habitations. The absence of canine reaction complicates a purely physical explanation. Desmond left the camera rolling for 3 nights. The knocking did not recur. A Reddit user from Michigan shared another clip. A nursery monitor captured a toy that shouldn't have activated on its own. Context: the daycare owner, who requested anonymity in public threads, runs a small home-based childcare with 5 toddlers. She uses an inexpensive, motion-activated music box in the corner of the nap room, placed near a shelving unit of stuffed animals. Event: in a midday upload, the monitor shows sleeping children small and still. For nearly 30 seconds, the room is quiet. Then the music box begins to play, a brittle lullaby. The camera angle reveals no hands, but the toy, an ex-battery-operated bear, stumbles forward as if nudged by an unseen presence. Reaction: teachers on staff rushed in. The owner says the batteries had been removed that morning, and the box was checked. One of the toddlers later drew a picture of a figure by a door with dark eyes. Other kids repeatedly asked why the bear woke up on its own. Follow-up: the owner boxed the toy and stored it in the attic. She reported the incident to the daycare licensing board as an unusual occurrence, but declined to involve police. Parents debated whether the owner should close. Attendance briefly dropped. Hypotheses: natural. A stuck spring or hidden battery compartment could cause delayed activation. Technical. A radio frequency interference or a similar device transmitting a signal. Hoax. A staff member manipulating the toy as a prank. Paranormal. Residual energy in objects linked to children's emotions. Given the children's drawings and the owner's anxiety, most criticism focused on safety rather than metaphysics. They filed no further updates, but the toy remains boxed. From an anonymous security channel in an industrial complex, a late-night shift camera captured something moving along the shadowed corridor beyond the perimeter fence. Context: the footage was posted by a maintenance worker who operates third-shift checks. He explained that the complex is dimly lit and that cameras often pick up small animals. He left one camera pointing toward an old service gate notorious among staff for strange sounds. Event: the clip shows a narrow corridor between loading docks. A figure appears at the far end, hunched, moving too smoothly for a person walking. The figure pauses, and for a second its outline seems wrong, too elongated at the shoulders, limbs folding at odd angles. It steps closer, but each step makes no echo on the gravel. Security footage shows a dark figure crosses frame, limbs bending unusually. Camera zooms, but image degrades. Reaction: maintenance posted the clip with the comment that internal alarms did not trigger and that motion sensors measured a heat signature inconsistent with a mammal. Later, other workers reported lights flickering in the locker room and tools misplaced on a night shift. Follow-up:
Management checked the footage and cataloged it as unexplained movement. A private contractor re-evaluated the sensors. Their report suggested thermal anomaly consistent with electrical interference, but did not account for the visual sighting. Workers refused night shifts, and some installed personal recording devices. Hypotheses: natural. Camera artifacts from compression or low frame rates can distort movement into unnatural forms. Technical. An overlay glitch or interlaced frame error. Hoax. Someone in a suit trying to spook staff. Paranormal. A humanoid entity slipping between infrastructure and perception. The company replaced several cameras, but no repeat movement was recorded for over 2 months. A Midwestern homeowner posted a clip from his doorbell cam that captured what sounded like a human voice speaking directly to the house. Context: the homeowner, a retired teacher, had recently installed a smart doorbell. He checks the feed intermittently and posts clips of neighborhood wildlife. He recorded this clip one Saturday night when he was asleep upstairs. Event: at 4:02 a.m., the doorbell audio captures a whispered phrase outside the front door: "I'm still here." The homeowner later transcribed it as best he could and uploaded the clip asking for clarification. The camera shows only the porch light and a garnered shadow from a tree. Clip audio: faint whisper, unintelligible at first. I'm still here." Reaction: the homeowner, shaken, left the porch light on for a week and placed a framed photo of family on the sill. Neighbors reported no suspicious cars that night, and the police log recorded no calls. Follow-up: audio specialists who commented online suggested heavy compression and a slowed overlay of 2 tracks. The homeowner ran the audio through several filters. Sometimes the phrase appears clearer, sometimes it dissolves into hiss. He adopted a motion-activated camera and placed reflective tape at the gate. Nothing else was captured. Hypotheses: natural. A passerby speaking to someone else, picked up faintly by the mic. Technical. A stray radio transmission bleeding into the smart device. Hoax. A neighbor with access to the porch speaker. Paranormal. A lingering voice tied to the property. The ambiguity lay in the microphone's low fidelity. No definitive source was ever verified. On a community upload board, a clip from a small church basement was shared. The congregation had installed a live stream camera to capture services. A late-night security check captured what someone later called a third presence. Context: the church basement is used for youth groups and storage. The pastor, new to the congregation, stated that the building had a long history and a few reported stories, but nothing recent had been dangerous. Event: the clip shows the chairs stacked and a folding table set against the wall. For 13 seconds, a dark form seems to materialize between the chairs at the far end, rising as if from the floor. It doesn't move from side to side. Instead, the solid mass expands slightly and then collapses. The camera's white balance shifts subtly as if a cold draft passed in front. Clip: hum of building HVAC. A dark mass coalesces, expands, then fades. Reaction: the pastor and a church elder checked the basement after the clip circulated. They found a puddle of condensation on the concrete and a stack of hymnals slightly askew. The piano, stored against the wall, showed a single scuff on its leg. Follow-up: the elders decided to increase lighting and sealed off the basement to the public during the week. They engaged a local historian who confirmed that a small chapel once stood on the property decades prior. Nothing in the record suggested malice, but the congregation felt uneasy. Hypotheses: natural. Changing temperature gradients can cause condensation that appears as a dark silhouette on low-quality cameras. Technical. Compression artifacts or a dirt smudge on the lens. Paranormal. A residual form tied to the site's history. The church replaced the camera and asked people to avoid the basement on late nights. A clip from a suburban security network captured a mirror in a teenager's bedroom reflecting something the rest of the house didn't see. Context: the family posted an interior clip from a motion sensor near the hallway. Their daughter, 17, had recently redecorated and hung an antique mirror above her dresser. She posted casual footage with friends the weekend before. Event: in the clip, the camera sits across the hallway. A group of teens laugh and file out. One turns back, glancing at the mirror.